the final minute and a half or so of qualifying for the final race of your evening. What an evening it's been so far. We saw a controversial finish to the 900 to 1100 B race just a few moments ago, and now we get to relive all the drama once again as Shadow Bounty looks to take another victory here today amid Ohio after a dominant start out at Indy. G. Cortese starts in second, the man who decimated the AWD Championship earlier on. He was so good. He was almost had yet another win, but 3 wins out of 4. He returned to, he's currently qualified second, just 2 tenths behind Shadow Bounty. Lounges in third, Fregel in fourth, V13 is in 5th place with Jamie in 6th, AGO6 in 7th, 8th place now, I beg your pardon. We got Jolly in 9th, we got Mr. Riberio P10, Sean 24 in 11th, Racing J making his return in 12th, with Luke Sky, Germany in P14, not the entire country, but a player called Germany nonetheless. So not too long left of qualifying before we find out who our pole sitter will be. Quite a varied grid in terms of distance in between the drivers. There are a lot of drivers who maybe just aren't quite there yet, or they're not quite up to scratch. They know they're a lot faster between position 3 and 29 overall. During the actual warm-up to this weekend, there was only a 1 second gap, so absolutely phenomenal stuff. But let's just wait and see how things pan out. It can all still very much change during the end of the race. And we apologise now for any technical difficulties. We are currently working on it. And off goes there. Fregel's at a spin, and that's right at the end of the final corner. That's going to distract a lot of drivers. He gets it going again. I'm not sure if we'll be able to set another time, however. No, he won't, unfortunately. So Fregel's session is well and truly over, but a lot of drivers out there still looking to push on. Shadow Bounty, one of those drivers, the current provisional pole sitter, dives into the pit lane. Just practicing his entry there. There will be pit stops this race, where it's almost certain. Let's see what G. Cortese has got up his sleeve in second. He's 2 tenths away. The answer is he's got a pit stop. Down to P3, 4th, AGO6, and I'm pretty sure this could be session closed. We're just waiting now on Mr. Jolly. Will he go into the pit lane, or is this going to be session closed? No, we'll go for the line. He needs to find a 10th of a second to beat Jamie. Can he do it? No, he can't. So, Shadow Bounty, the winner from last race, starts on pole. We'll be right back with you very shortly to see if he can defend that title around Mid-Ohio. Hello everybody and welcome back live to your Simraceway IndyCar Championship for 2014. It was Shadow Bounty that took pole position, looking to further extend his reign of dominance all over the championship. But the question is there going to be a man standing in his way? Let's find out. So we wait the arrival of those 4 red lights then. Not that long left to go. And we're racing in mid-Ohio. Big start there for Lounger to the outside. Oh, it's a stunning start by the man in 3rd position. He's trying to sweep it all the way around turn 1, but he's run out of road, and it could have been something extraordinary. And unfortunately, it's turned into something rather quite normal. We've got a restart coming, so trouble in the back field, and in fact, there's trouble all over the field. Let's Reese just watch out for the warm-up. Okay, so welcome back live to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. We just got the restart, getting ready to nip underway now. And we're just going to have about another 10 seconds before those 4 red lights came. Now, we did notice last time a big start there from Lounger. Watch out, flag again. The yellow and black car parked directly behind your pole is a Shadow Bounty. There could very well be something big coming from him. 4 red lights, what we're waiting for. We've got 3, now we've got 4. And now we have a race in Mid-Ohio, and again a big start by Shadow Bounty, and Lounger off to a flyer, takes 2nd. Oh, to the inside, and the rest of the field go to make their way through. Jamie and AG06 running the same livery side by side there, and they're all squabbling. They all want that ideal run down into the hairpin for the first time, and Racing Jake trying to sweep his way around the outside. Oh, Jamie one, he was a bit wide, and that was almost costly, but luckily there was no other contact with any other cars. But this is the corner you want to watch now for overtaking manoeuvres. This is where you can lose or gain so much time respectively. Either way, down they go. Racing Jake goes around the outside, cuts it nice wood inbounds, and there he goes. So Racing Jake sweeping it, still going through to 7th down his debut in the A race. Not only is he not content with what net win, I would say. I can't see. Oh no, I've just got commentator's curse on it, and Jake goes off, and that could be quite crucial. It's all now a case of, I suppose, getting recoveries down to 13th. It's the end of the first lap. We've still got a long way left to go. See what Jake can do. Tries to go to the outside. For a bit. Actually, 136 up in front. But action's going on in the midfield, isn't it? You got Fraggle there. I mean, Jolly jawing away to the outside. Germany 2007 making a good start there in 9th. Bad shout at all there for him. But still, plenty of time left for things to happen. 45 laps of racing here, and Shadow Bounty leads the very, very early stages. as he makes his way through the final corner. Lap 2 is done and dusted. Now we just have to wait and see how the rest of the field react to this. Mounder in second. Third, Cortese. Fourth, El Nino. Fifth is AGO6. Sixth is Jamie 1. Seventh, Mr. Jolly. Eighth, Fregel. Ninth, Germany. 10th, Racing Jake recovering. 11th, Sean. B13 in 12th. Barrio 13th. And Luke Sky is in 14th at this stage. So it's always the case now as the field split up into developing into their own speed groups and just trying to bide their time really. It's a long afternoon here at Mid-Ohio. As you say, it's not exactly the easiest course to conquer. Very, very difficult indeed. A very undulating course. And Cortese gets very out of his depth there. And El Nino almost did extremely positive job to get it back from him. But unfortunately, the momentum just wasn't quite on his side just yet. But out of the final corner they come. And El Nino has got to try and put something on them here. Oh, and a big move there as El Nino tries now to go up the inside. He's going to do everything in his power to do so. Running against a man there with the same livery, goes to the outside. It's going to be a fun move to watch. The Metcalf first HP, and he's trying to duck back underneath his El Nino, but great vision there by G. Cortese. That's exactly a testament as to why that man is so dangerous. Brilliant work, you know, it's going to be said. And those two, I'm sure, will continue their duel long into the afternoon. Jamie and Jolly not that far adrift. Fregel and Germany 2007 also not that far away. So out of the final corner comes Jamie. Very quickly followed there by Jolly and Fregel. You've got Germany there as well. Sean recovering nicely. Racing Jake under pressure from B13A6. And that is something we have not seen so far yet. That man coming under pressure. So interesting to see how he does in that situation. Still looking to try and force a way through is Germany. It's around the outside of AGO6, and that will not be a pass for position, as AGO6 is the man who's in last place at this stage. This is for position though, B13 versus Racing Jake up the inside of turn number 4. And Racing Jake very well aware of what that move consists of, having almost had it thwarted against him so many times against Double Bevan. But luckily Jake was able to see it off. Unfortunately, the counter-attack was just too great, and I've got a feeling that that could be it now, unless you can get a slipstream out. It's a very difficult part of this circuit to get a draft. Now, a lot of the slipstreaming happens from about turns number 1 through 5. As soon as you hit the tight and twisty part, you get through the many bumps and jumps that Mid-Ohio has to offer. That's when it becomes a real chore to slipstream an opponent. But lap 6 underway, Shadow Bounty's lead just keeps on increasing, 6.6 seconds at the moment. Phase driving. You say take a look at the standings and how things shape up. Man took 70 points in race number 1. It was Lounger who took 66, and it's a set same man in second place. El Nino was third at the moment in terms of where he was last time round. The man was not present, so it's his first race here today. And we got fourth place G. Cortese, 34 points in race number 1, but an impressive win in the AWD. He'll be carrying all of that forward into this race here today, and he'll be absolutely performing. He's just really bounced back after what hasn't been an easy year for him so far, but come mid-year, we're in May now, and it's another championship he's entered, and he's finally found success and mastered the art of the Mitsubishi Evo. Absolutely brilliant. So now, So there from Cortese, which will still probably be the closest encounter. The futurist Fregel to the pit lane there. Now that is intriguing. Now he's on his way out, so I think we'll have to wait and see just how he's doing at the moment. So another lap is almost in the books for your race leader as he makes his way towards turn number 2 for simply looking a beautiful Target livery. You are Lounger now 8.888 seconds, so all the 8s in bingo. And Lounger's just 2.6 seconds, however, in front of El Nino. He's going to have to navigate his way past a little bit of traffic within the coming moments, and that being that bright blue car just up in front of him belonging to Luke Sky 80. We'll have to move that way pretty sharpish for the man in second. Just have to wait and see what it pans out. It's been thrilling season so far, and I'm sure it's going to improve as we get to go to the halfway point next stage. And don't forget, you can catch that live here on the Simraceway YouTube channel. Round 3 coming to you from Indianapolis, and round 4 ending at our home Sonoma. Over the line again goes El Nino, still being chased there by Cortese, who's seeming to me like he's getting just a bit closer each time. It's not quite dividend just yet, but nonetheless it is an advancement. That line of 45, we've still got a long, long way left to go. Let's listen to the Cortese as he tries to really get in that grill of El Nino. Still no adieu just yet, but Jolly also trying to chase Jamie. That's over the final top 5 position at the moment. Another thing to factor in, of course, will be pit stops. We're not too sure when they're going to be just yet. Taking the first race. There's only one stopper last race. That was Devil Bevin. Going to be a case now of come back from chaotic opening stint for some drivers. It's sort of settled down now that dust has settled and waiting to stir up another tornado, I'm sure. But one man who's no certain, well, he does not want a tornado, but I'm sure he's causing one at the amount of pace he's going, is your race leader and championship leader, Chad County. Just watching on lap with him there, he's absolutely flying. He's just going towards the final few corners once again right now. And he just remains untouched at this stage. Here he goes now, using the curb very politely, I'd say there. Very generously with it. The line he goes in a 103.1. In contrast, the man in second, Lounger. We'll see what he can do in just a moment's time as he makes his way through that final left-hand kink. Number 103.1 from the leader and a 103.7 from Lounger. Just a 6/10 difference at this stage. So a quick run through of the order. Shadow from Lounger. Now, interestingly enough, El Nino has got the pit button lit. Now, is this because of one pit stop or no? Either way, Cortese wants to go at the inside, and unfortunately, that was not going to work. He's doing everything he can to duck back underneath, though, but well covered by El Nino. What can Cortese do in retaliation? The answer is an incredible lot. El Nino's just held his line absolutely perfectly there. And again to the inside, and again no avail, as El Nino got damaged only lap 11. Be a strangely early stop. I can't imagine it being a legitimate button press. The answer is no. Yeah, they'll start at number 12 now. I was going to say it's a little bit far-fetched to see it at that sort of time just yet. As much as we do like to see, you know, some experimental strategies, it's always nice to just occasionally get one that plays out nicely and it's all smooth and there's no unpredictability, because as a driver, you don't want risk, you just want to be consistent, you want to get some good results, especially at this stage in the championship as well. It's all about just playing your cards right and knowing what you've got to lose. You cannot go in at, you know, the second race of a championship knowing that you're untouchable. You've got to be very conservative, you've got to be in it to win it, and quite often it's the drivers that finish every single race that end up with a shout to win. And just look at what Cortese did in the AWD Championship. He's no driver to consistency, finished every single race in that championship on the podium, and now looks to try and further extend that record of finishing here today as he goes at the inside of El Nino, and a textbook manoeuvre, opportunistic driving there by the AWD champion, and over the line he goes to start his 13th endeavour of the circuit. He's got to be careful now, as El Nino could very easily come right back at him within the next couple of corners. It will be very intriguing to see how they come back from this one. Yeah, still no sign of a counter-attack yet from El Nino, despite a very nice draft. I think he just got a bit of a poor exit coming out of the corner, and that could have cost them quite dearly there, but nonetheless, brilliant run indeed. And El Nino's dropping back a bit now, and that's intriguing. Jamie's only 3.3 seconds down the road. You've got Germany in P6, sort of a silent hero there. He's not really done much this afternoon, but what he has done is been consistent in the opening stint. 14 minutes in, lap 14 gets underway, and the man is flying right in the heart of the midfield. E1386, also a regular here at Simraceway, 104.4 for him that time round. And debutant Racing Jake recovering again, this time up to 8th position. So he's going well at the moment, is Racing Jake, after a stunning display in race 1. I put a commentator's curse on this last time out, because last time I mentioned his race 1 antics, he did get a slight tap, and that is why he's that far down the field. But he was leading the entire second stint, a bit of a tap at the end from Devil Bevin, and the race winner still yet to be decided, I've got a feeling, because in all honesty, it's just so much pressure on him. It was a last gasp manoeuvre, it's the final corner, you don't want to risk anything too much, but at the same time, it's a race win, and as Ayrton Senna once said, that if you see a hole and you no longer go for it, then you are no longer a racing driver, and that's exactly what Devil Bevin did. Unfortunately, the hole didn't play out, and it did end up in contact, and that win may get stripped from him, but you've got to credit the sheer velocity that Racing Jake brought to this series. He upped the tempo, he brought a lot of passion, a lot of aggression, and all-round good racecraft for a debutant. Normally, you see some intimidation, or the bigger boys like to toy around with it and start flirting with passing ideas, but not this time. Racing Jake held his ground, stood firmly, and in turn earned himself a very good result on his debut here today at Mid-Ohio. Luke Sky 10th at this stage as well. Still only one retirement. That's come from Sean 24. That was on lap 11. So about 5 laps ago, that one was. But Shadow Bounty will be 5 laps in front. He's got 14.1 seconds to the next driver. And that man is Lounger. So Shadow leads the championship on 20 points. Or 70 points, I should say. And then Lounger's in second. And in terms of the race today, Shadow Bounty leads. And Lounger, funnily enough, is in second. So got a feeling it's going to be a 2-horse race between these two. There goes Jamie 1. There goes Luke Sky as well. Luke Sky pressuring as well, actually, funnily enough. And that's not for position, but it will be entertaining to see, because it's still quite early stages in this one, as Racing Jake makes his way through the traffic there in terms of Mr. Jolly. Through the final corner, it's already lost 1.8 seconds to Cortese. Not a huge amount, but enough. We've got Bounty still leading the charge now, 15.3 seconds. Lounger still second, then Cortese in third. But what an intriguing first stint this has been. We've still got another 2/3 of the race left to come. Quick update on pace as well. We'll have you on Shadow Bounty's current lap time as he makes his way through the final corner and looks to extend his gap back to Lounger and really run away with this one. A 102.7, absolutely ridiculous. So through he goes, a 102.7, and Lounger can manage a 103.3, so about 6/10 slower. Cortese over the line now will do a 103.2, so it's slower than, a bit quicker, I beg your pardon, than Lounger that time by. The two only separated by 5 seconds. Now Cortese having the spurs of El Nino. Excuse me, could he be a big upset to Lounger? He's faster. He can remain consistent. There could very well be a dark shadow appearing in Lounger's rear mirrors very, very shortly. Nino fourth, Jamie still fifth. 104 for Germany, and 104.1 as well. So Racing Jake still pushing on as well in 8th place, not quite as quick as the other drivers, but having been promoted to Skillquant, you can't really ask for much more than that. He's done a fantastic job so far. Shadow Bounty are now on lap number 19, approaching the halfway stage of this one now. Looking at about lap number 23 for halfway, and he's not really been too shabby at all, is he? I've not seen him put a foot wrong, been watching a lot of what he's been doing, and he's hardly made a single mistake. Talking of mistakes, we've got some of the drivers a bit further backfield and wondering what's happened to their races. If we say Racing Jake recovering well, AG06 also, Mr. Jolly is a lap behind Shadow Bounty now, as is Fregel. And Sean 24 out of the race now. A bit of an update there. B1386 is entering the pit lane without a front wing. Now, he was battling presumably with Ribeiro, but I can't see there being any contact. I haven't seen anything flag up on the monitors. The B13 in for a repair, and that has surely destroyed any chance he had. There you go, race. He was already quite a way down, and that is a real shame. We'll just have to wait and see what he can do. There's really not that long left now in terms of getting out of the pit lane. The yellow flags us as someone's coming down. The answer to the man who will be running turn one very shortly and possibly providing a bit of a hindrance is the GoDaddy car, and that belongs to Mr. Racing Jake. Will be eager to get through, I'm sure, and not held up. Although he wouldn't mind a bit of a slipstream, getting some extra MPH going down the back stretch. Longest part of straight on this circuit as we enter lap number 21. Shadow Bounty is on now, so 18 seconds clear of Lounger. Cortese is only 4.8 behind Lounger now, so we thought he was a bit more than that. Turns out he's not at all. Cortese there with the stop and go. Now that is slightly worrying. I don't think that should be anything to be concerned with, actually. He should get that revoked. Yes, it is. It's just for going wide of the corner. But nonetheless, Cortese lapping quickly. 4.9 the gap to Lounger. He's chasing second place. Going the right way about it as well. Now he will be hoping that he wins this on strategy, and then he can maybe leapfrog Lounger in the pits if a pair do decide to pit. We're looking at about, I'd say, lap 26, lap 27 for the scheduled stoppers, should there be any. So Cortese 103.9 and a 103.4. It's a bit quicker there for Lounger, who's got a burst of pace now, which is nice to see. And in terms of the action on the field, it's all pretty much stale out there at this stage. The drivers just fighting the tarmac and trying to win their own battles, make sure they conserve tyre wear, make sure the brakes don't overheat, the engine revs are nice and kept cool. It's not just a case of driving around, you've got so much to think about as a racing driver, and they really do have to consider all of those things, especially the fuel. That's the most important thing. If you can conserve fuel and have a late run at the end, it means so much come the last 5 or 6 laps. There's still Shadow Bounty from Lounger, from Cortese, from El Nino, from Jamie, from Germany. So top 6 has remained the same since, say, the last 10 to 15 laps or so. It has definitely been exciting to watch it all progress and all fold out. So, oh, bit of a look on there for Shadow Bounty. You just noticed going into the quarter turn number 2. So we'll give you a full rundown of the championship standings going into this race. So not including this or the race we just saw, the B race in this Skillquant. But overall, where the drivers finished at race 1, it was Shadow Bounty that won from Lounger. So familiar signs it seems, doesn't it, at the very front. Jamie number 1 was 4th behind Sean 23 in 3rd. AGO 6 5th. Severio 6th. The Magico 7th. Frego in 8th. In front of Jolly, Cortese, the Flow, Luke Sky, Ribeiro and Gribby were your top 14. So very intriguing to see how that transpires into race 2, and you can see already who the jack of all trades and the masters are out there, because Shadow Bounty and Lounger once again decimating the entire field. Cortese now coming alive after the 10th place finish last time round. They will be open for results and more points to push him up the leaderboard. Now we've actually lost Lounger. I believe Lounger's pitted, as far as I'm aware. So we've got Cortese, who's got the pit one. Yeah, I said about lap 26, the laps would start counting for pit stops. Now Cortese's in 2nd then, as Lounger's pulled away. Now we've got El Nino in the pits as well. El Nino's pit lane right at the start, so very easy for him. His pit stop right at the start of the pit lane, doesn't really have to do too much work. But we've got Lounger P6 now. What was important for him was that he didn't land in traffic, and I believe that's still the case right now. There's no one leaving the pit lane. It's all played out very nicely for Lounger. The Bounty's still yet to pit as well. Is he going to? Yeah, yes he does. So race leader into the pit then, lap number 25 of 45. Shadow Bounty makes his endeavour into the pit lane for the first time today. Let's see how this one goes. Just keep an eye on the drivers that are also into Shadow Bounty didn't land in traffic. Jamie's still going. Germany's still going. Cortese is out and clear in front of Lounger as well. Now that is very interesting. Cortese is in front of Lounger. Lounger's all over the back of him, still trying to get those tyres heated up. Now Cortese will be on stone cold tyres. If he wants to get his position now, he's got to capitalise, because otherwise Cortese may just have his wrapped up. He's going to try and make a pass now. Does he pick his lane? The answer is yes, he does. Round the outside. Oh, can he do it? Yes, he can. He's done it. So he's caught Cortese out on the cold tyres, and despite Cortese's best work, I don't seem to have pulled it off just yet. But even so, what a stop that was for Cortese. He was about 5 seconds away. So to gain that amount of time and a position provisionally, that's not a bad shout whatsoever. And now even better, he's right behind Lounger. Those tyres are going to warm up. He'll get some nice drafting going into the next couple of laps. So just a case now of seeing where we go from here though. Still a lot of racing left to be had here at Mid-Ohio, and a lot can change in a very short space of time, as it always does here in the Simraceway Championship races. It's never as it seems. There's always an unknown around every corner, quite literally. You just never know what's going to happen next. By the way, Lounger currently occupies second position in front of Shadow Bounty, still has a monstrous lead despite already pitting in. So if that is a testament to just how quick this man really is and how scarily quick this man really is, well, I don't know what is. It's a marvellous pace so far, as Lounger was behind things, shaping up very nicely for a great second stint here. We've got Jamie in front of El Nino, Germany, Ribeiro, Racing J, AGO6 pulls into the pit lane, as the rest of the drivers look to sort themselves out into a nice order. But wait, so important for everyone else. Fraggle goes off. That's important for him, but Cortese needs to pass Lounger, and he's going wide. You can see he's just cross quicker. It's a nice plan. He's just not quite there yet, and then they're trying to do just not quite working. Cortese breaking later into corners, trying to get advantages left, right and centre, but just cannot find the momentum he needs right now to pass, and that is going to be such a fatal flaw, I fear, in this one. Lounger goes through, pushing strong in front of Cortese, that time of 104.6. About, actually something over 100 of a second quicker than Cortese chasing him, but there's still a lot of things that can change here, and I think Cortese passing Lounger is going to be on the agenda because he wants this so badly. You can see it. Just in the way he's driving the car, he's been a lot more rugged with it, a lot more aggressive through the sharper apexes. Approach lap 30, we'll have 16 laps left after this lap. Cortese actually just a little bit of time there, I think. That midsection, easy to do when you're in the dirty air. The downforce of the car lowers, you lose some front end grip, and that costs a lot of track position. Actually, the circuit is undulating as this one. It's so difficult to get right 100% of the time, but Lounger over the line again, a 104.2 and a 104.9 for Cortese. Yeah, so definitely a little mistake there. It wasn't too dividend, but it was enough. And being enough is sometimes all you really need. Still trying to push on though, only 0.5 of a second away, and a little closer each time, isn't he, edging his way forward. What can Cortese do though through the final corner? We should have no more stops as Shadow Bounty is on a 25-second lead at the moment. And that is just pure inspiration. Absolutely brilliant driving right there, right now. It's going to be said, I mean, he's won the first race. He's pitted it in and still come out with a 26-second lead over the nearest car. That's not easily achieved. His pace has been unrivaled. He's come alive in recent championships and has really turned into this prolific driver who we've all come to know and love. He's become so aggressive, so dangerous in terms of outright pace, and not many people can match him. And the ones that can often have the fight of their lives to stay with him. Over the line now at 103.4. In contrast, we'll give you an update as to what Lounger does this time by, but Shadow Bounty simply in a race of his own right now. See if Cortese can throw a spanner in the works against Lounger, but Cortese already driven a race about half this length earlier to secure his AWD title. They're very familiar to just how quickly this can change. It's so difficult to predict, but a 1:04.9 from Lounger, so it's still about 1.9 seconds slower. And Lounger's not making any errors. That's what he needs him to do, and he's not doing it at all. Great news for Lounger, but bad news for G. Cortese. He needs an error, otherwise I've got a feeling it'll be very difficult to pass, and it's only going to get harder as the race goes on, as you put more pressure on yourself to get past. The opportunities start dwindling away, and you start regretting missed opportunities. He's got to pass him soon. The prime time was when both drivers were still warming their tyres, but it's never that easy, is it? Cars were colder. Lounger recapitalised and took back the position, and now finds himself 6 in front. Shadow right now. I'll tell you what, honestly, Shadow's driving can honestly probably be compared to that of the pilot of that car, Dario Franchitti. Man, the target, who's simply a marvellous driver, the champion in 2012. And the man who's also going to be commentating on the Formula E Championship. So whilst Dario's career in racing may have been cut short, and many people will be devastated by the news, but he did it for the right reasons. He did it for him. He felt the time was right, and now it turns passion to commentary. We partnered up with fellow Simraceway commentator graduate Jack Nichols, and then all of the actual Formula E greenest power series in the world. Brilliant to watch. Dario Franchitti's legacy will live on for many, many years to come. One of the most successful drivers to ever venture across the states, much in such a short space of time. I beg your pardon, it's always Scott Dixon, Dario's partner. This car belongs to. So my apologies, it's Scott Dixon that bundle up there, the teammate, the two target cars. For the error there, as we take a look to just what's going to develop at the moment. El Nino and J Moose still should be dueling. We've been monitoring this battle all afternoon, and we still believe they've got some longevity left in that one. The battle for 4th position, only 7/10 of a second separate them as we go into that very tricky turn number 4. And see Shadow Bounty moving traffic swiftly out of the way. Not badly at all. He's done a fantastic middle stint. There's only 11 laps left to go, and I'm pretty sure he's going to drive them all to absolute perfection. Beautiful stuff. I'm still holding off against Cortese. The two drivers have not been separated by more than a second. Pretty much tight race been together. now with the race still with quite a lot left to go, the drivers now need to turn their focus on consistency. It's all about, as we say, keeping that car very nice and cool, keeping it the exact temperatures it needs to be, and pretty much mastering all the conditions. Very difficult thing to do. Still fighting with Lounger, and don't forget we've still got the battle to be solved as well, the battle for 4th and 5th, with El Nino and Jamie 1, now separated by 1.3. El Nino can't seem to find the pace to capitalise on the slipstream that straight offers. I think that has been one of his main complaints this race. He's done so well to stay with him. I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with the top 5, but we just love that one position more, wouldn't he? And it's a drive, you always do that. You could achieve 2nd, but it's not a win. And most people know that. They want the win. If you're not a win, it's like, you know, in the wise words of Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. But through turn 1 again goes Shadow Bounty now, lap 37. Sorry, not turn 1, I beg your pardon. It was G. Cortez making his way down the straight, but Shadow Bounty, however, about half a lap behind now is Lounger, which is quite bizarre. I didn't think he would drop that far back, but a 102.8, it's easy to see why he's that far back. But down that back straight again, he's got a little bit of traffic to deal with, a Shadow Bounty, but Cortese has got his sights still firmly set on the back of Lounger. We've got 11 laps left remaining. Still a lot can change, but Cortese's got to up his game if he wants to make a pass. He's got to try and dig a bit deeper. A 103.8. He was a 10th faster than Lounger last time round. That will not win him this outright war. Now still getting a bit closer now. Cortese a bit more dangerous actually. Through turn number 5 there. Let's see what he can do through this. It's just a trouble with Mid-Ohio that you get so close to the car to turn 4, and if you can't make the pass stick, you're at severe disadvantage through pretty much the rest of the circuit. You wait until out of turn 16, that final straight once again, and start drafting. Yeah, real tug of war for the drivers, a real issue to contend with, but the line they go, and a 103.5 for Cortese. And in terms of Lounger is a 103.7, so he is getting there now, he's lapping faster. All away is quite worrying now because Cortese is starting to wiggle around. There's some clean air under those air ducts. He wants his position badly. The gap now 4/10. He's getting there slowly. You know, Jamie, however, still separated by about a second as we have 7 laps of racing left in this race. Right, they go then to, yeah, 6 laps remaining now. 136 and a 103.8. So Cortese once again looking the faster of the pairing. What does Cortese now got up his sleeve against Lounger? He's getting a bit closer. He's trying to run that corner a bit wider each time, and still not quite there just yet. Lounger against Cortese again, and these two now getting a bit closer. I've just noticed it's the first time through that middle section where Cortese has actually come alive a bit. He's kept that gap now well under a second. How far away does he need to be to make a move into turn one? The answer is with Lounger making lockups like that, maybe not that far at all. 5 more laps to go, and a 103.6 compared to a 103.7. Cortese's getting there slowly. He needs a good run through turn number 1. Lounger runs onto the dust. Is that going to help G Cortese's cause? The AWD champion now starts to look a bit more dangerous as Lounger again makes a bit of an error. It could all start maybe crumbling down for him now. Get the move done, however, through that very difficult turn number 4. Let's just all wait and see how it pans out. Lounger, not yet. He's almost home, and I'll tell you what, if Lounger brings his car home, he's got to be the defensive driver of the season. Yes, okay, he hasn't been weaving around and counter-attacking left, right and centre, but you know what he has been doing? Withstanding an onslaught of pressure for well over 30 laps against one of the most fierce drivers in Simraceway. G Cortese has been applying nothing but pure pressure on the back of Lounger, and Lounger has just completely withstood it all. He's not really looked to yield to it whatsoever. He's done so well. It is a testament to how hard this man has worked in Simraceway. There, and he got closer again, didn't he? Now there's traffic. Now this could either go good or bad for this battle. Lounger will be praying for the former as he wants to disperse as quick as possible and have another car between himself and G Cortese. Have that little bit of a safety barrier for just a few seconds so he can refocus his mindset going in towards these final 3 laps where they'll just start in a moment's time. So Lounger over the start-finish line, 1.1 seconds away. Cortese, not that far though. As now Lounger's played that very smart, using Mr. Jolly as a draft. Now, if he's even smarter, what he will do is, oh, he's gone way too wide there, and that's going to cost him. He under braking. It's the first time he's had to deal with dirty aero race. He's lost the position. Now, how fast is Lounger? He's got 2.5 laps to get that position back. Cortese to the inside. Where can Lounger place the car? Cortese brakes so much later, and Lounger now has got to work so much harder to try and get that car back into where it needs to be. Oh, you can almost split the tension. It's so difficult right now. Mr. Jolly's still there, and Cortese will want to do exactly as Lounger was going to do to him and use him as pretty much a scapegoat, a getaway. So start-finish line they come, a 105.5 and a 103.5, yeah, 2 seconds quicker was G Cortese that time after what we did see. That big error where it happened. That caused it, just a bit of a lapse of concentration perhaps for Lounger, and they want him to lose the position, but down this straight he will not get the draft because look at what Cortese's got planned. Very smart driving indeed, just using Jolly, finally pulls out, and now we've just got a lap and a half to pull away and make sure he doesn't make a big error or a big boo-boo. Shadow Bounty's well on the way to claiming his 2nd victory in a row. So Shadow Bounty has done a simply marvellous job here today. He's not dropped a single lap, led from green to checkered. And now we're going to see just the true effect of this man's driving dominance. Just like Scott Dixon in 2012, Shadow Bounty is going to reign supreme in that Target Chip Ganassi IndyCar. Through the final corner comes Shadow Bounty. He's won race number 1 of the season. He's now going to do the double. Shadow Bounty wins race number 2 of your IndyCar Championship. And what a way to win. 45 laps. Not a single moment did anyone ever think he's going to lose it. There was never a moment in anyone's mind. And Lounger's lost the front wing. And oh no. Is he just secured third though? Jamie's not that far away. Can Jamie maybe steal one here? Is there a very late twisted and tail? Cortese's wrapped up second now. Lounger's going to struggle. Oh, he's been knocked anyway. Oh, he's off. And what's happened now? Is that a puncture? It looks like that could very well be a puncture. Someone went bang on the car. There was no car inside. He's down to 5th. He's lost to El Nino and Jamu. And the man who would have taken a second in a while, it was Jamu. It was an incident with Jamu, but Jamu won. Is going to take 3rd. A podium finish for Jamu. What a run. Jamu and El Nino, 3rd and 4th. Wow, they'll be stunned with that result. Absolutely, characteristically brilliant. Lounger will take a disappointing 5th. They'll be heartbroken there. But what about this man? The debutant of Germany, 2007. Over the start-finish line. It's a top 6 finish. Good run there indeed. Lounger takes 6th. 7th will be Riverio. 8th place for Racing Jake. So not bad. Also lost the front wing there. But the man who debuted so well in the B race earlier on is now going to finish in 8th in race number 2. Luke Sky 80 will cross the line in 9th with AJ06 in 10th. B13 in 11th place. Mr. Jolly in 12th. Fregel 13th, and just one retirement after 51 minutes of racing, and that belongs to Sean 24. So what a weekend of racing we saw. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and the dominant of the dominant. Shadow Bounty gets 40 points from 40 going into Indianapolis, and looks to make it 3 wins in a row as you head over to the home of IndyCar. See you next week here on Simraceway. Thank you so much to all of the drivers who've taken part, to our manager Kasaki, to our cameramen Pedro Ramos and Carlos, for providing us some beautiful camera angles and giving you guys some spectacular footage to watch. From myself though, I will see you very shortly here on the Simraceway YouTube channel.